I only recently watched Doctor Strange, the recent one that has Benedict Cumberbatch in it, and a character, Mordo, said something that struck me that I wanted to share here, and I'm paraphrasing the way that he said it. I wanted to defeat my enemies, but I received the power to defeat my demons. Now, I'm not here to promote a worldview with demons or with enemies or a framework of defeat of anybody at any time, anywhere. But what I do like about this quote is it brings the focus back to ourselves. And it's not just that he gave up defeating his enemies and decided it was better to work with himself. That's not it. It wasn't a switch. It was a complete understanding that the enemies that we have outside of ourselves, if we want to call them that, are not outside ourselves. They're inside ourselves. That's where they are. And in speaking of world peace, nowhere is this more true. What you want to experience on the outside, if it's world peace, has to come from the inside. And the fact that we have beams in our own eye, huge beams, is what causes the mote in the other person's eye. The other person doesn't have anything in their eye. It's just that we see a little mote, but that little mote is actually the end of our beam, okay? They are our demons. They are our paradigms. They are our ways of looking at the world. They are our weaknesses. If you are not at peace in the world, and if you are not safe in the world, if you think that you're not safe, or if you really aren't safe, there are some real safety issues. It has to come back to you. And this can be on any level. You know, when you can learn self-defense, you can learn to become physically strong, and then, you know, no one could defeat you on a physical level, right? Because you what? Because you prepared yourself. And so there's nothing out there that could be stronger than you. And that's a lifetime journey. A lot of people are willing to do the physical work to be physically strong to defeat enemies, okay? And that's a good level at which to do it. I myself am working on strengthening my body so that I can trust my body to do what I ask of it if there were some real safety issues. But then I wouldn't have to be afraid, right? Because I know that I'm prepared physically. So that is a good level, but some people stop there. And they understand that they have to become physically stronger, but nobody, I don't want to say nobody, but most of us don't want to go any farther inside and redo our mind and redo our heart, redo our emotions, redo the way we speak, redo our belief system. Nobody wants to go there, you know. And so really we're remaining weak. We're letting ourselves be weak inside. Okay, it's not brave to have an enemy. It is cowardly to have an enemy. It is brave to see everyone with compassion and with realism. And then, who is your enemy? For me, there is no one that is my enemy because I will not have that category. I just won't do it. Like, why would I waste my time on this planet counting enemies or having a category called enemy and filling it? There may be those out there who think that I'm their enemy, but that sounds like a personal problem, right? And if I meet, I had a chance to do that. I mean, you know, the other day someone spoke unkindly to me. They did. And I chose to go as deep as I could into them and into me to find the part where we were both blessed. I hope. I don't know what my response did for that person. I don't know. But I know for me, I'm glad that I was able to respond from the best part of me. And that's because I've done so much work and I choose it consciously. And I'm not saying this to boast about myself. I'm saying this to invite you to do the same thing, that it can be done. And it wasn't particularly easy. It was like, oh, this is where I have to use my skills. This happened, so like I'm in the middle of it now. This isn't just imaginary, because we can get really scared about lots of imaginary, well, I don't want to say imaginary, but pasts that we carry, futures that haven't happened yet. And, none of that's really happening. Just the now is happening. But we live in a world where sometimes the nows are a little hazardous, and they become subject to the preparation that we may have made. And so if you care about world peace, which I do, and I'm inviting you to do so, you have to prepare for that. You have to have the body and the thinking and the speaking and the emotions and the scripts and the responses and the willingness that create that world peace. And that is the work of yourself. Those, Mordo called them demons. Of course, when I talk about them, they're a lot nicer than demons. You don't have to think of them that way. But once you have defeated your demons, you've automatically defeated your enemies, because they cannot be, and they cannot be against you, because you are too strong, because you're clean and pure, and you know what you're doing. Okay? So that's why I liked that quote. It's you. It's us. And then you can let the outer world be what it is, because you're always going to be ready with your peace, your brave peace.